lecture talks about UGC's promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher education regulations released in 2017. Now, what are the exclusions as part of this work? So, any work which has been quoted is a exclusion. All references, bibliographies, table of content, preface, acknowledgement or similarities of minor nature are considered as exclusion, not considered as part of plagiarism. Or any law, terms, definitions, symbols, standard equations are not considered as part of plagiarism. Now the core work which is carried by the student, the faculty, the staff, the researcher based on the original idea would be covered under the zero tolerance policy. So it is called as the zero tolerance policy against plagiarism. So zero tolerance policy on plagiarism is an important concept, and this talks about understanding and defining that the higher educational institutions can undergo severe penalty in case plagiarism disciplinary authority finds that there have been plagiarism in the core work. So what are the levels of plagiarism that are cited in the non-core areas? Now, if there is up to 10% similarity, it is excluded. 10 to 40% is considered level 1, level 2 as 40 to 60%, and above 60% is level 3. So there has been an academic misconduct panel which is established by all higher educational institutions to understand the allegations of plagiarism, and this has the power to assess the level of plagiarism. The softwares are used to check it, and then this academic misconduct panel is a 4-member body. Now, one member is nominated by the head of the higher education institution outside the higher education institution. So, one member is outside it. The chairman is the academic functionary. He or she can be the dean, the pro VC, or the senior academician of that branch. The third member is again an academician who is an expert in the discipline, and the fourth member is a person who is expert with the plagiarism tools. So I repeat, 4-member committee for academic misconduct panel. One is the member outside the higher education institution. The second can be dean, pro VC, or a senior academician. The third is an academician who has detailed knowledge in the discipline where plagiarism was cited, and the fourth is the person who is expert, the academician who is expert in the field of plagiarism softwares or the plagiarism tool check. Now there is a 45 days period which is given after the date of complaint, and that is for the proceedings and the final recommendations. Now what are the penalties? The penalties for the student and the faculty are different. For the students, if there is a level 1 stroke, that is there is similarity of 10 to 40% conduct, then students would not be given any marks and they would be asked to submit the revised thesis or revised work within 6 months. If it is 40 to 60% of similarity, then they would have to submit it within 1 year, but not more than 1.5 years. If it is above 60%, then he would be considered as cancelled from the course. His registration would be debarred, and that is level 3. Now, there can be a question, what if there is repeated signs of plagiarism even after the level 1 warning? Now, if there are repeated plagiarism, then the person would be treated for one level higher than the previous level of plagiarism he was considered for, and there can be cases where penalty can be imposed even after the degree has been awarded. Even after the degree has been awarded, there can be a question that this thesis or this work is not a due original work. Then in that case, the degree shall be considered as revoked. Then the next is penalty for faculty and researchers. What is this? For level 1, they would be asked to withdraw the manuscript which is submitted for publication and not be allowed to publish for 1 year. Okay, so level 1 for 1 year. Level 2, similarity is 40 to 60%, then they would not be allowed to submit or publish for next 2 years. They would be denied one annual increment and would not be allowed to be a supervisor of UG, PG, MPhil, PhD student for another 2 years. If it is a level 3 similarity, which is 60% of the content similar and above, in that case, they would be denied for a period of 3 years to submit any manuscript for publication. 2 annual increment would be removed, and then they would not be allowed to supervise the UG, PG, MPhil, PhD students for a period of 3 years. So stringent actions there and then are the 3 levels. Now, if there is repeated plagiarism, then again enhanced penalty, one level higher than the previous level that was cited. Okay, penalty in the case where the benefit has already been obtained, then in that case that could be put on hold as per the recommendations. And if there is any complaint against the head of an higher educational institution, a suitable action would be taken by the competent authority, the governing body or the governing council, whatever the title is given thereby. So either the competent authority or the governing body or governing council would take stringent actions against the head of the higher educational institution if there is a complaint of plagiarism against the head of the higher educational institution. So those are the very strict and stringent rules which have been released as per the plagiarism and to maintain the academic integrity. Very important topic. Lots and lots of questions being asked these days on research ethics, and this is what is one of those. So be prepared for your paper 1 thoroughly. We have been covering extensively the content through our complete video course, and the links for which are available in the description below. If you have any questions, any doubts, feel free to connect back to us. We'll be more than happy to address your queries. Wish you good luck.